Buenos Aguerono, and welcome to another episode of Straight Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Stock, and today we have...
Christine Taylor.
Ross Montour.
Jeremiah Johnson.
Ross who?
Montour.
Oh.
Slip.
And once again...
Let's do that again.
And once again we have Jeremiah with us. Welcome.
Welcome.
We don't do things over.
Nah.
We're going to make...
We're real.
You'll make the blooper list.
We are the blooper list.
You have no choice. You get what you get.
Yeah.
So the weather has been nice. I know we're going a little bit off, but what do you think about how the weather is going?
Well, you know what? Regardless of what you think about it, it's here. Okay. All right, the usual from me.
I love the weather.
The usual. You know what? Except give thanks for it, whatever. But take care. It's really hot. Mm-hmm. But they said this year was going to be hotter than previous years.
I don't think so.
I don't think it has been.
I think
So far it hasn't. No.
We've had some pretty chilly weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of rain, but it's been really sunny. It's been it's hot. Drink water.
Mm-hmm. But there is a high heat and humidity warning in effect, and that mostly affects the very old or the very young, and basically that it's a
cover up, sunscreen, stay out of the heat, spend as little time as possible. Drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Even council sent out a release this morning warning people about that exactly. Stay out of the heat. Make sure that your kids are well shaded. The elders also.
Yeah, and the Elders Lodge is open 24 hours a day over the next few days. Yeah. So, but you do have to call them first. Just give them a call and let them know that you're coming over if you just really can't take it, or if there's because there's different levels of heat. There's heat exhaustion, and then there's heat stroke, and heat stroke can be very, very serious. So, just common sense, and try to keep yourself cool.
Check up on your elders, like I went to your house a while ago.
Thank you.
Make sure that.
And I was okay. I'm here now. He gave me a little bottle of water and said, "Come on, we gotta go."
Gatorade.
But even for the kids and stuff like that, go see a movie. Winnie the Pooh's out, or a Harry Potter or whatnot.
For me, I like the heat though. Even in the weekend, it was hot, but I was working in my yard, and I'm fortunate to have a pool, so I cool off, and then I come back out and work, and I jump back in the pool.
You wear a hat?
Yeah, I have a nice straw hat.
I knew it.
I like a nice straw hat.
Is it like a Panama hat or a?
Yeah, it's like I got it in Mexico, and it's sort of like a
sombrero. Gringo.
No, it's a work hat. It's a work and everything else hat. Put it that way. Yeah. It's cooler than a regular hat. So,
but
you got to wear a hat. That's one of the things too.
Yeah.
I see a lot of little kids, being pushed around in strollers, or walking without hats.
Yeah.
And I mean the sun and the UV index has been high now. UV index has been really high. It's
been 9 and 10.
Yeah. So you need to put a hat on.
Cool off as much as possible. Yeah. There was recently, last week I think it was, there was a bike ride to Quebec City, only because of the heat, and it was really hot then too. And the team from Ganawagi had gone to Quebec City. I think it was a 2-day ride.
250 kilometers.
Yeah. 250 kilometers, and they made it anyway. So they must have been hydrating.
Not only did they make it, they did really well. Actually, the team Ganawagi, they really placed well.
They placed well overall, because it wasn't really a race, but they were keeping track of times and finishing and so on and so forth.
So congratulations for that. There's a lot of different other organizations that are raising money for cancer, whether they're doing a 2-day walk, or this is I think the second or third time that they had gone to Quebec City by bike. It's a lot of training to do. Walking is one thing, and when I think a few years ago when they had done I'm not sure if it's maybe the second or third time the walk when they go to New York City.
Right.
We had gone and I mean we didn't walk for 2 days, but we walked around one day filming, and then it was a lot of walking then. But for the ones that had gone and did 2 days of walking in the heat,
they walked around the perimeter of Manhattan for that, which is 35 miles.
So they. Some did it in one day, and others done it in 2 days, but still, I mean, it's been going on for a long time, and they've been raising a lot of money. Kahnawake, I think, for the bike had raised over $80,000.
Yeah.
That's from 29 of our riders, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, and that's good. It's getting bigger every year, so.
Collectively, they had 1,800 riders for the Ride to Conquer Cancer. They raised $6.7 million collectively
In a 2-day ride.
in the 2-day ride.
Yeah. Mind you, that is a lot of fundraising. And I don't know if you guys recently saw that either, but there was a lady that, I think it was for the one in Montreal, I'm not sure, but it might have been the one in New York, but they wouldn't let her walk because she didn't raise she'd only raised $500 of the.
You have to be $2,500.
Yeah, $2,000 under so they wouldn't let her walk. You know what? Isn't that
That's silly.
I think it kind of skewers it a bit when like that comes up. But at the same time, then what happened was once she got she put it out there. People sponsored her, and she was able to raise the other $2,000.
Yeah, I can understand. There's an expense to raising money. There's an expense. There's an expense to putting on a fundraiser because it takes a lot more than just showing up and going. There's a lot of organizing and stuff like that, and I'm sure that some of that money goes to that. So there's probably a certain limit that they would like to have, and maybe it's $2,500 because I think most of them are around the same. But it shouldn't stop. If somebody's going there with $100 or $20, I want to walk. Here's $20. Who cares? You know?
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They
Like,
wouldn't
how do they
allow her
stop?
to.
But how do they stop you? How do they stop you from walking?
Well-
I gotta walk behind you guys. So
Yeah,
punch.
but then you don't get the official credit, I guess, kind of thing, and
Is it all about credit though, or
Yeah.
is it about?
Yeah.
So I mean, there's I guess
Yeah.
you know the worst thing about it though is there has to be controversy in something good all the time.
yeah. But what I like that this year in terms of some of these fundraisers is that a portion of the money. I'm not sure if it was the Ride to Conquer Cancer, but one of the fundraising for cancer research actually, some of the money actually went back to this community, from what I understand, or to help treat or pay for treatment for people that are suffering from cancer in this community. So that's nice as well, because a lot of times, and a lot of money has been raised from this community, and it goes to cancer research, which is of course very important.
But I think that a lot of my understanding as far as a lot of the fundraising for cancer in this community, whether it be on the bike and or walking with some of the other groups, that a lot of the money goes to the Jewish General Hospital, and majority of the people in our community with cancer go to the Jewish General. And I had the opportunity to go there a couple of times with a friend of mine that's been going there often now, and they have a pretty nice setup there. You can see there's a lot of money, and then they treat the people really well. They have a lot of resources there, and they're doing a lot to make things more comfortable for the people who are in that situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, it would be nice to have a cure, but in the meantime, they're making that unfortunate thing a little more pleasurable when they're going, or more comfortable anyway when the situation happens.
And speaking of a walk or whatnot, recent visitors to our community were the 7 Generations Healing Network, and from what I understand, we're gonna take a quick look at a clip from that.
We're walking across the country. We began May 1st in Conn River, Newfoundland, Mi'apyukek First Nations, and we're raising awareness for a vision that came to me for an Aboriginal Youth Safe House Healing Program. It'll be all traditional, with the culture being implemented, using the culture's needs and means of helping the youth deal with all the anger, aggression, depression, resentment they have from growing up in dysfunction. The Walk for Nations was a brainchild of my co-head walker and myself. His name is Irvin Chartrand from Winnipeg, Alberta. He's a former gang founder and gang leader. And we put this in play following my own son becoming a victim of gang gun violence in Toronto, Ontario. And when he came back to me, my son mentioned on how the words that I gave them were inspiration to come back and to take my message and Irvin's message to the nation to help the youth, to help them ward off at-risk lifestyles, alcoholism, drug addiction, and a violent lifestyle that could lead to the streets and incarceration. And the Safe House program, it deals with getting the kids out of their surroundings, back to the wilderness, and it'll be all run by the elders and cultural advisors from not only my organization, but also from the different communities where we'll be setting this up in. I am from Edmonton, Alberta, originally from Coal Lake First Nations. I'm out here walking in support of all my family in Hobbema, Alberta, Enoch, Alberta, Saddle Lake, Alberta, and pretty much every Native community that I traumatized with my addiction and my alcoholism and the violence that I once carried.
I was born and raised in Toronto, in the ghetto, but my reserve is from London, Ontario, Chippewa of the Thames First Nation. I got kicked out of school about 4 months ago. I went to school every day, but I never went to school. I went there to get drunk and high and chill. And then I got expelled. So then my mom, I stayed at home for a long while, for 2 months almost, just doing nothing besides drinking and smoking and playing video games. And then my mom had enough of it. So she talked to my aunt, and my aunt told my mom that my uncle is doing a men's healing circle every Monday. So I started going to that, and then my uncle told me about this walk that he's doing, and it's a healing journey across Canada. So I'm like, okay. So I thought about it, and then I decided to walk. And I'm here to tell the youth that, you know, school is important. Like, drugs, alcohol is nothing. Like, you can do that some other time, but like, get your high school diploma.
I was born and raised in Thunder Bay. My reserve is Gull Bay First Nation, and I currently reside in Toronto, Ontario. I got kind of given up from school. It was, you know, I wasn't going to school every day. There was just, I wouldn't go, and you know, the teachers just gave up, and they were just trying to kick me out until Mike came up with a plan with the Toronto District School Board to walk across Canada for my high school diploma.
We guesstimate that it'll take 8 months. We hope to finish on New Year's Eve in Vancouver Island, Campbell River, BC. And thus far we've covered over 2,500 kilometers walking. We arrived here 3 days ago. We've visited some elders, took part in the longhouse ceremony for the strawberry ceremony, and some of the community members let us know that there's going to be a powwow this weekend, and we decided to prolong our journey and our stay here just a little, and we're going to take part in the powwow. Well, to the community and to the people in general, we're here just re-educating not only ourselves but people on the culture that we have, that we cherish, and the teachings that come with that. When you find yourself in ceremonies and listening to the elders, you can find that peace and that hope, and know that the lifestyle of alcoholism, drug addiction, and violence, that's traditionally not our way. And there's kindness and love and family. Family is very important. That's why this Walk for Nations turned from a group of individuals walking to a family to now that's grown over thousands of family members.